This is a story of a 30-year-old woman from Wisconsin that goes under the name as Tracy Malakovich. She is a self-proclaimed successful author and artist, but her real name is Chong Tracy. She is a well-known scammer and con artist who targets the Sailor Moon community. And for anyone that dares goes against her, she begins to make up the most outlandish lies to said person. First, I want to put a disclaimer. Please do not stalk, harass, or bully anyone mentioned in this video. This video is purely made to inform you and entertainment. I do not condone any bullying or harassment. Some people's names were changed for their protection, and some of the people involved had their faces censored out for their privacy. Chong Lore is a public figure. This is no way invading her privacy. There is mature content ahead, so you've been warned. Chong Lore had been scamming people out of money for years and has yet to stop. The reason why she's been under the radar for so long is because she goes under many aliases. Many of these names she stole from other people, mainly the people she has beef with and or have scammed already. She ghosts after making her first wave of scamming, only to return and claim she's learned her lesson and she's sorry, but only to go back and doing what she normally does. She claims that people who she has scammed are the ones who did the scamming and are harassing her, but to be precise, are suicide baiting her, in her words. This woman has a long history of being a batshit crazy bitch, but at the end of the day, I think she just has too much time on her hands. Her scamming may have started back on YouTube and DeviantArt. For those who don't know, DeviantArt is a place for artists to publish their work. It's just basically a community of artists. I'm not sure the story on the DA era for Chong, but she was bullying and harassing a girl under the name of Melody Cass and her friends. She later challenged Melody Cass to a singing contest, which I have no idea how it started or how it ended. Needless to say, she didn't win.
Of my sketchbook. And look what's happening. Everyone is accusing me of stealing the picture. How is it stealing a picture if I took a picture of something I own? No one seems to be copying to I stole pictures of these because I took pictures of my toys. And no one is accusing me of stealing those, and I own them. So, explain to me why taking a picture of my own sketchbook is stealing. Please enlighten me. I just wanted to prove to some harassers that this is really my picture. I drew this when I was in middle school, when I was first starting out, thus her proportions are very off. Her hands and her head and all those great things, they're not that accurate. This is my OC. I did not steal her from anyone. But if you can please do me a big old favor.
For more information, you can easily look up Cutechong and see many forms based on Cutechong, but exact details are on her ED page. If you don't know, that's Encyclopedia Dramatica. She still to this day holds a grudge against Melody Cass. Her next target, however, was scamming people through YouTube and eBay. She would sell little things to iPods, DVDs, and Sailor Moon toys and figures. This is where the scamming started. She would buy stuff off of eBay and later cancel the transaction after the item was sent. She later would either resell the same item she scammed someone out of, or never send, or even send a broken or bootleg version of the item, or even send the wrong item. She was well talked about on DeviantArt since she was apparently tracing over other people's art and claiming it as freehand. Her victims of scam began to make aware of Chong's scamming. Many forums were written about her, and this is where she began to hide from the community, but to continue to harass her victims. Years passed, and she formed many friendships and began on working on a career in writing. Before I get into her book, I want to make it perfectly clear that I've never read her books, nor am I interested in reading it. It's just rumored to have a lot of copyright, aka her writing her own fan fiction on Sailor Moon. I was friends with Chong's for several years back in 2010 and knew about Chong's past, but never judged her. Because I feel like, everyone makes mistakes, and, she was clearly embarrassed about it. But she would make mention of her past because we just had formed a close friendship like that. I really, truly adored her, and I thought she was a sweet person, but, to every light, there's a dark. My personal encounter with her was, for the most part, positive. She never treated me poorly, and she was super supportive of me. However, she was dating a guy that was 40 years old, maybe older. And he did camera editing. I don't know if it was a hobby. I don't know if it was his job. This was after she had left her fiance. She was in her mid-20s when she was dating this new guy. She often complained to me about how her boyfriend was grouchy and didn't get her hobbies. She even confessed to me how she wanted to have sex with him, but he showed no interest in having an intimate relationship with her. She did tell me that she did reach over to grab his dick, and he pushed her hand away. Soon after she left him, or he left her, she never really explained the breakup, but she did hint how she wanted a boyfriend like mine, and kept saying how cute he was. She asked me personal questions about my sexuality. I confessed to her that I was pansexual, not bisexual like she claims. She said she had feelings for me and expressed how she always wanted to date a woman. She made a private group with me on Facebook where she wrote poems and sent me romantic type pictures. Soon she later started a new relationship. I never questioned her relationship since it was pretty bizarre how suddenly she started a relationship after confessing her feelings to me. Nor did I care. She often hinted how she was going to make me her girlfriend, even while dating this new guy. I never said anything still.
Hello, beautiful Bella. I hope you can hear this. I don't even know if you can hear this, but I am very... Oh, there's Evelyn. I am very, 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 very sad. Why? Because you posted that thing on Facebook that you wanted to die. And now I'm trying not to cry and... Okay, let me breathe here. Okay, I am trying not to cry because my best friend in the entire frickin' world says that the world would be better without her. Okay, first, you are my best friend. I will frickin' die if you die, okay? And then I will wake you up and I will kill you myself. And if you want to die, you're gonna have to wait in line because I get the chance to kill you. No, that is not a threat. And secondly, you are my best friend. I love you so very much, and you're like my girlfriend, and I don't know how to live my life without you. So if you freaking die, I will find a way to bring you back to life and kick your ass. Oops. Oh, and don't think I won't try and find a way to do that. I watch a lot of weird TV shows. I will find a way to kick your butt and bring you back to life. And hello, Evelyn. And yeah. And FYI, I think like 4 years ago I wrote the same shit on Facebook, and you sent me these messages, so I'm gonna send them back to you because you are loved and you are my hero. And who am I supposed to base characters off of if you go away? Okay? You better stay alive, young lady, or I will find you, and I will make you come to Wisconsin, and you are going to be my little roomie, and I will drive you insane. Living with me. Oh, hey, Cutechong. My Facebook keeps popping up messages. And I love you so much. I don't know if you have a boyfriend or if you're having shit going on in your life, but I love you. And I hope you know that I love you all the way from Wisconsin. I forgot to tell you that please send your nice warm weather to me because I'm freezing my ass off over here. See how much I love you? See? I'll be your girlfriend and I will fucking date you and I will fucking spoil you and yeah. I think, yeah. And I will treat you better than Justin. I love you! Okay? Please don't die on me! Okay. Please! Or I will... I'm gonna start with porn star. Oh, oops. You weren't supposed to hear that. Okay, well, I hope you know you are loved. I need you! You are my hero! Please don't die on me!
She began a feud with an author that went under the name as Josie Beck, who wrote erotic romance novels. According to Chong, she claims Josie hosted a contest and claims she won and never received her prize. She wanted me to get involved, and I jumped in Chong's defense. I did attack this woman, only because I took Chong's word for what it was and never doubted that she was lying to me. I thought she was my friend. Why would she lie to me? Looking back now, seeing all the lies, I feel very guilty for not questioning Chong and her claims and for getting involved to begin with. There's no excuse for my action, and this is my personal message to Miss J.L. Beck. I sincerely apologize for attacking you if you ever see this. While the whole Josie thing was going on, Chong had asked me out of the blue if she had my consent to use my name that I went by on Facebook, which was Bella, and it was the name of a character in her book. When she had asked me for my consent to use my name in her book, I didn't hesitate and I said yes immediately, only for her to later tell me that she had proof to show to a judge. I asked her what she meant by that, and she said Josie was pressing charges against her. I had no idea why Chong was getting a protection order against her, nor did she explain to me, but she wished she could put a bullet through Josie's head for making her job difficult after Josie won her case against Chong. Josie had put a restraining order against Chong, which was granted. She had also was trying to copy Josie on social media under the name as Nadia Frost, which she also tried making a book about Josie, which was called J.L. Beck Killer. I mentioned to Chong that I was going to an anime convention with a friend, and then she asked me if I would buy something for her, and she would send me the money for that item. I agreed and sent her multiple pictures from the convention. She wanted something for $50, and she finally agreed to 3 Sailor Moon twinkle dolls that were keychains. She promised to send me the money right away. She kept saying she was going to send the money, but after I mailed the 3 keychains, plus extra items that I personally wanted to send her, again, I was never sent any money, nor was it ever mentioned. I moved on because she was my friend and money doesn't matter. At the time, she was friends with another girl who was sort of known on YouTube and Facebook as codename Sailor Earth, aka Koriander. I personally did not like Koriander, and Chong knew this. I never bashed Koriander, nor did I talk crap about her. Chong sent Koriander some Sailor Moon items to Koriander and tagged me in the very same post. She sent 2 of the Sailor Moon keychains over to Koriander. I was mad, to say the least. I could not believe she sent the very 2 items I sent to her to someone she knew I never liked. For the record, at this point in time, my boyfriend that I was living with, that I was in a 7-year relationship with, was cheating on me 3 times at the time. She knew I had recently broken up with him and moved back home with my family. At that point in my life, I was done with people's shit. I lashed out on Chong and told her I was not interested in being friends with her after what she did. I felt lied to and scammed. She gave away a gift I gave to her to someone else. She originally owed me money for those items, but she forced them as a gift from me to her. I moved on with my life, and I never tried to communicate with her ever since. She later began joining the Sailor Moon community groups on Facebook that sold and traded Sailor Moon items. She was promoted in a popularized group into a mod. I was kicked out of that group because I blocked her in that group, and it went against the rules for that particular group. When the mods had asked me to unblock Chong in order to stay in the group, I refused. I had no idea she had began scamming people once again. According to Ms. Koriander, who I am friends with now, she was Chong's editor at the time when she was writing her books. Now this is from Koriander's word. When she was working, I believe it was on the second or third book, she told her that it was going to be a trilogy. But this is the premise of the first book, is that there is a powerful queen on an alien sister planet to Earth called Tartan. Queen Tara Rose uses up her power to fight these internet trolls from Earth who stormed the castle, but she dies in the process. Her husband, King Thomas, and his twin brother Jason discovered that her soul was sent through a portal in time when she died, and her reincarnation crystal is already in her early 20s on Earth at the same time that they are collecting the body. So Thomas goes to Earth initially to kill Crystal and have Tara completely take over her body, but he falls in love with her and trains her body to accept Tartan power and knock her up. This is for ages 13 and up. The first problem was that she insisted this was a young adult's book for ages 13 and up. Koriander kept telling her it would be easier just to make this for adults, because she left in violent sex scenes, violence, and swearing. She kept demanding Koriander keep it for teenagers. There's nothing wrong with these types of books. You just can't write these types of books and have them aimed towards young adults. Koriander had to keep explaining that to Chong, how big copyright is, and you just can't write those types of books for young adults. Koriander had to edit out sex scenes, swearing, and violence for it to be age appropriate. There is mention of copyright characters from Sailor Moon, Superman, Ninja Turtles, and Star Trek. During this time, this is when the J.L. Beck incident started happening. Chong never fully explained to Koriander what had happened or how it started, but it got ugly. They both gave each other bad reviews on their books, and when you thought this was far from over, well, it didn't. According to Koriander, she received a phone call from the Marshfield Police Department asking if she knew a Chong lore. Chong went by Tracy Malakovich or Tracy lore. She told them she knew a Tracy lore, but the police had told her that Tracy was not in fact her real name, but her middle name. Koriander then spoke to Chong, which Chong immediately lied to Koriander based on two characters in her book, Bella and Colden. She lied to Koriander and claimed that those two characters were named after two of her co-workers. Well, those two characters were named after J.L. Beck's children. This is where the restraining order comes in. According to Chong's book, Bella was to be cut to shreds alive, aka Trunks vs. Frieza. It's Dragon Ball reference if anybody knows that. Colden was to die by spontaneous combustion. Their father was also to be killed in the book. No wonder why Josie Beck put a restraining order against Chong. Remember how I mentioned how Chong asked me if she could put my name in her book? Well, she was using me as an scapegoat from the restraining order. Chong had also mentioned to me how she wished she could pull a bullet through J.L. Beck's head. Even after all that, Koriander still remained friends with her. Both Koriander and Chong began to send each other stuff through the mail. Most of the stuff was Sailor Moon related items, and even the Sailor Moon Twinkle dolls that I had sent Chong, that she claims that she got from Hot Topic. All the items Chong sent, she claims she got from Hot Topic and eBay. Who knows which items were from her scams. Koriander had bought 2 Sailor Moon wig dolls for Halloween. Chong kept asking Koriander for those very Sailor Moon wigs. Koriander finally agreed after Chong said she would trade the wigs for a Sailor Moon doll. that being a super Sailor Moon chibi doll. She mailed off the wigs, but Chong never sent the doll. Koriander made a video of herself packing the wigs, even showing the low quality of the wigs before shipping it off. There was a live stream of Chong brushing the wigs backwards and cutting the wig up, basically destroying it. Finally, Chong admitted to Koriander that she sold the very doll she meant to send to Koriander off to someone else so she could party with the guy that she met on the internet. At the time, Koriander was going through some hardships, from losing a family member to her pipes busting at her house, eventually selling her house as a loss, because there was a lot of damage that had happened at her house. And Chong knew. She was willing to screw her friend over, knowing the fact that everything that was going on with her friend. At that point, Koriander severed the friendship. This is where Chong began harassing and stalking Koriander, making her another one of Chong's victims.